All right. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makakadash. Honor to those I've learned from. Of course, that's those men that are constantly pushing this word out on the YouTube, all over the internet, keeping the sheep fed. We're thankful for that. Double honors to their teachers, the apostles, and elder bishops of Israel. And shalom to those of Yasharallah seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. All right, shalom. Today, just one thing that's been on my spirit is just the wilderness. Born in the wilderness. Just really looking at the Bible, looking at the Israelites during their captivity, when they were brought out of their captivity, and being placed and actually earning the right to step into the land of Canaan, which became Israel. So, when the Israelites, when they left Egypt, they were just still under that vibration of, being of the Egyptians. They were there, they still wanted to serve the Most High like they were serving some Egyptian god or something, And that you can look at that today and see how the Israelites in America, they still want to, cling on to their Christianity or their Muslims. We'll just say Christianity, while they're attempting to now endorse the fact that they are Israelites. They're like, when I first came into this truth, and I'll just say this, when, I woke up right around 2017, and, apparently a lot of other people woke up at that same time, and there were so many stumbling blocks waiting for us, coming out of Christianity, I was familiar with someone still being in the church and walking around a pulpit with a microphone and a suit on. I was familiar with that format, and so that's what I clung to. People like Pastor Darby. As soon as I came, it was 2017. He was there. He was up there preaching. He had the word. It was coming. It was like, man, that's a good word. And then, he was pushing out, but he kept saying, he didn't want to deal with the law. He still wanted to use the word Jesus. He still wanted to do that whole Israelite Christianity thing. And then that December he passed away, and it just like really shook me, But I just kept looking. I just kept pushing until, I was able to come across the true men of the Lord, which are on the highways and the byways pushing out this word. So there's just when you first wake up, there's so many stumbling blocks. I came across the guy Rap the News. I came across See the Israel, who's that big? All those guys are waiting for you. It's just like every stumbling block, flatter, every stumbling block is there waiting for you, But you just somehow, some way, the Most High had mercy upon me and led me to the real truth of the word. And now we're starting to see, he's pulling away all the layers. We're starting to see all the false doctrines, all the fake ones, everyone that's fake, You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-man show. This ain't a one-man show. We have the apostles that is the head of everything. And of course, even in the world when I was a Christian, I wasn't going to come up. I was non-denominational, straight up. I'm not no Baptist. I'm not no Protestant. I'm not no Methodist. I was just searching for the truth. I was like, I'm non-denominational. And for me, even as a man, to even to see who these apostles are, hear the word, go back to the Bible, look at what they're saying. Everything they're saying it lines up with the word, and it's just, I personally would never have ever thought that I would be, following this word in the way that I am, following the true men of the Lord. It's only because of the Most High. This really is only because of the Most High. I remember, I believe the brother Amram out of Alabama was talking about how the dude from Sakari the deacon or whatever talking about there's no scholarship amongst GMS. I mean, these people are so grievous and just so these false prophets. They're just so that I mean, the demons on them is popping off. It really is. To just say that's an insult. He's just trying to put something, the system of Esau, above this word, is blasphemy in itself. It's blasphemy in itself. Okay, I've been in college. I went there, and I'll tell you this: it's worthless compared to this word. People in those institutions couldn't even. They should not even be compared to this word. That's how low their institutions are. They they're worthless. Okay, this is the truth. Those men on the highways and byways are the ones that are really have the truth. These pastor pork chops, these TD Jakes with these doctorates, all these women. There's a lot of women with these doctorates in theology. They don't have it. It's just a shame that they even went and got a doctorate in how to teach the Bible when it clearly tells you a woman shouldn't even be teaching this Bible. You got an easy job. You can just, be a help. But anyway, I mean, nobody wants to be who they are in America. So let's just go. I just want to start with, a few verses talking about the wilderness. We'll start with Numbers 14 and 33. He says, your sons shall be shepherds for 40 years in the wilderness, and they will suffer for your unfaithfulness until your corpse lie in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to be on that vibration of Egypt? You're going to stay in purgatory, as the Catholics would say. You ain't making it. That mindset won't be making it into the kingdom, pretty much, into Israel. Psalms 106 and 26. Therefore, he swore to them that he would cast them down in the wilderness. And then it happened. They were bitten by snakes. They just weren't able to overcome that vibration of being in Egypt. They just were unfaithful. After seeing all the major works that he showed the nations believed, because they didn't want nothing to do with Israel. You know what I'm saying? They saw them come, they really ain't want nothing to do. And they saw that chariot in the sky, they didn't want nothing to do with Israel. But the people, for some reason, they didn't have faith, so he had to cast them down. And then we're going to let's look at Numbers 14 and 16. Because the Lord could not bring this people into the land which he promised them by oath, therefore he slaughtered them in the wilderness. We all know he promised them by oath that they would have that land. So they're going to still get that land. He's going to fulfill that promise, but they're going to get it in the regeneration, because, you're regenerated through your gene pool, generated through your gene into your same lot every 3 to 4 generations. So he fulfilled his promise, but that soul right there, that soul's going to be left in the wilderness. It won't make it into the land of Israel. Okay. So pretty much after those people, the unfaithful generation died off, that unfaithful generation, they were still impregnating the young women, impregnating the Israelite woman. And every child, you got to take a look at this. Every child that was born in the wilderness was a natural born killer. Natural born killer. Nothing but killers was coming out the womb because they were under the vibration of the Most High. He gave them the law at Mount Sinai. They were getting circumcised at the 8th day. Everything was going according to the law. You mess up, you saw what was happening. There people whole families getting stoned to death. So they were under the vibration of the Most High. He was watching over them. He was raising them up, feeding them good. You know what I'm saying? They had that manna. They were drinking good. They were sovereign. They were building up. They were taking down little nations, getting their swords, getting some weapons. You know what I'm saying? Getting a couple slaves. And, they were ready. Every child born in the wilderness was a natural born killer. None of the nations wanted anything to do with them. Now it was time, you know what I'm saying? All you people with that Israelite Christian mentality, you need to understand, we going to war with these nations. Ain't none of these nations going into the kingdom sovereign. Okay, and none of these nations going into the kingdom um on without Israelite man as their master. Okay, they will be the slaves. They will be the handmaids of Israel. They, everyone's going into the kingdom, but how you gonna be in the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the mistake these people have in their mind. They keep thinking, oh yeah, there will be Edomites there in the kingdom. Sure, there will be, but they will not be wearing a three-piece suit in the kingdom. They will be slaves. They will be, me personally, they ain't gonna be. They're gonna be on a factory. They're gonna be on a plantation. I mean, I'm saying, I'll dig in my pocket a little bit extra to get an Ammonite in my home or something, because I don't want no Edomites not in my house. You know what I'm saying? Looking at what I got. No. They around my part. They gonna be in a factory. All right, they're gonna be on the plantation, and they're gonna be in their barrios and in their hood, because they ain't coming. They ain't coming from my spot. You know what I'm saying? I spend a couple extra dollars for like Elamite or Ammonite, but around my spot, up in my actual personal area. But them damn Edomites, they got to stay out yonder. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me show you. So we getting ready to go to war with these nations. Let me show you something. Just take a look about when we're in Egypt. We're in Egypt. Let me show you something. Joseph never cared about no Egyptian. We're going to start at Genesis 47:13 through 20. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, is the money failing now? And in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for their cattle for that year. When that year ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. What did Joseph say? Ho, 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 ho. We can't buy you Egyptians. We love you. Let us set up a nice welfare program for you, get you back on your feet. Joseph didn't say that. Joseph said, damn you, damn stinking Egyptians. Joseph was just dealing, he was just in the Lord's will. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was in the Lord's will. He came from prison. He came from being a slave to prison to being the governor of Egypt. He said, he knew he was in the Lord's will. He had to suffer himself and be in Egypt around them Egyptians. And he didn't give a fuck about them damn Egyptians, okay? He's like, look, y'all better, look. He's like, look, y'all going for a dime a dozen. See, I better sell your ass quick before I go for a nickel. You know what I'm saying? So they hurried up quick. They sold this out. He didn't try to set up some welfare program for him. He bought him. He didn't care about no damn Egyptians. But for some reason, these Israelites that's waking up to who they Israelites right now feel like they care about these nations. Damn these nations. These nations ain't give a damn about you, especially the Israelite man. Especially the Israelite man. Let's look at this. Look, the Israelite woman. Look. Well, come to find out, she's the Edomite. She was a tear. Come to find out, her father was Polish or something. I looked her up, read the story. Her mother looked like a damn demon. She was like, her mother was Miss North Carolina in 2002. She came back and became Miss North Carolina in 2019, and went along to win the pageant for Miss USA. So look at this. There's a little father right there, little, you know what I'm saying? Little Edomite father. She hanging out with the Edomites. This is a little Edomite minded chick. This little but anyway, to the world, she looks like a black child. You know what I'm saying? Like she's an Israelite, but she's not. And she was trying to do prison reform, whatever. They gave that little they had their little things that they want to help out with, whatever. But this woman had it all, everything, and go jump to her death off of a high rise in New York City. Because these people, their mind ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, these heathen, these nations, they don't give a damn about you. They were treating her like a little black girl. So even though she got an Edomite spirit in her, she know how to think. Just look at these nations. Look at how they treat us. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to kill these people for scattering us. Look at that mindset. There was the other story I wanted to get to. Jake going crazy, stealing stuff. Where we at? Look, they don't care about you. 2 Connecticut detectives suspended for unacceptable failures while investigating this little chick over here. Opening her legs every Tom, Dick, and Harry in town. And this one, I don't know how she died. This weirdo right here. They don't care nothing about you. Where we at? Where's that story I was looking for? This thing. Look what we got scattered onto the people. Woman who came out as a lesbian to her husband 2 years ago reveals they are still married because he's her soulmate and insists they still live together raising their children. Doing these stupid TikTok videos. I can't stand these people, man. Look at this. And they're going to co-parent. Look at this stupid damn. I'm not doing no TikTok video with your ugly ass, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Look, I mean, this place is done, man. Look at this. Well, you read the title, that them kind of Seattle woman, Virginia woman, who also identifies as a wolf's, claims she's spiritual and animal, but insists she never howls or barks at her serious job or in public. It's so you can't even read this stuff fluidly because it's so confusing. These people are crazy. Look, this is what we got scattered to. These nations don't give a fuck about you, especially the man, especially Israelite man. These people are contrary to you. We have nothing in common with them. There's nothing that they do we should be trying to be doing, okay? All right. So pretty much, being born in the wilderness is the right frame of mind to have as an Israelite. Get rid of that Egyptian vibration on you. This Israelite Christian thing got to go. We're gonna end it off with we're gonna go with good old Joel. Do Joel again. Where we at? Joel 3. You know what I'm saying? These nations are going to be put down. We are going to war with these nations, okay? We got to put off Egypt. We got to get that born again. You know what I'm saying? Like John 3:3, he said, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom. Those people leaving Egypt, they weren't born again. They got the blood. They went to Mount Sinai, got the covenant, the new covenant, but got the blood placed on them, and they didn't renew their mind, okay? You got to be born again. We don't want to be, we're going to be born, but we don't want to stay in the wilderness. We want to see this kingdom. We want to get called up by them chariots. You know what I'm saying? So, for behold, Joel 3, and we'll start at 1. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, the northern and southern kingdom. He's bringing it together again. He's like, look, he's breaking this up. Everywhere you see a new critical race theory, but you can't teach theory and history. Either it happened or it didn't. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing all these things. He's showing you lynches again. I'm like, anytime I hear something about an Edomite, I don't get. He ain't do nothing right. Everything he did was evil and wicked. You look at all the truces he broke. Just look, my man Lavrov and well, he ain't my man. That Edomite Lavrov in Russia. He said, look, man, if you want to talk about Ukraine and Russia, bring something in writing. I'm done talking. Bring something in writing, because you know who you're dealing with. This damn little horn, that's this little stocky little horn that came up amongst them. This is the most truth breaking person in the galaxy. You can't make a deal with this dude. He said, bring it in writing. I'm done talking. Talking, especially talking. You got to get something in writing with this guy. Just like uh Jacob, when he was dealing with Esau, he said, look, man, you got to swear to me that you're going to make sure you remember this. You swear and you remember that you're selling me your birthright. He could have just said, you know, oh, you're going to say, okay, you know, it could have just been a one word transaction. He said, nah, homie, you got to swear this, because everyone know about this dude Esau. He said in verse 2, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage. You know who stole our heritage? Them people that's over there now. Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So we're scattered among all the nations. You know, I always, even when I was a child, I looked at when the Egyptians left, when the Israelites left Egypt, and they came from the east and they conquered and went to the west into Israel. And I always looked at America, how they landed on the, you know, of course, Christopher Colomb, he never even made it into America. He was in Hispaniola. But when they did land in the Americas, they conquered from the east and went to the west. I was like, man, it's everything that happened with the Israelites and what happened with these modern day Americans was like different, you know. They went, you know, and not only did he conquer all the nations here, he went down into the sub-Saharan Africa and went and got the Southern Kingdom and brought them over here. So he conquered all the nations of righteousness and enslaved them here. And, you know, we conquered all those nations of wickedness and made it into our land and made the earth righteous again. So I'm going ahead and just end it there. You know, it's best to be born in the wilderness, renew your mind, get that Egyptian vibration off of you, become that new man in his words, and sing this new song. So I'm going to go ahead and say, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakadash. Honors to those I learned from. Double honors to the teachers of and the apostles of Israel. And shalom to those of Yasharallah, seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. Shalom.